Super Saiyan 4, a form so popular that it was brought back not just once in the latest Daima anime, but twice because we saw it even in Super Dragon Ball Heroes. Before those series, it was exclusive to the somewhat infamous Dragon Ball GT. Say what you will about GT, but Super Saiyan 4's legacy has been nothing but positive since it was first revealed back in the 1990s. So I figured what better way to talk about and to celebrate the newly revised Super Saiyan 4 now back in the spotlight than to review this legendary figure, the Super Master Stars piece, Super Saiyan 4 Son Goku. But of course, we're not just reviewing one version of this figure, we're reviewing all 4 versions and answering the question, is this the best Super Saiyan 4 Goku figure? We do plenty of Dragon Ball figure reviews and news videos here, so if you don't want to miss all of the hottest items being released, make sure you subscribe. Before we talk about the figure, let me explain just what Super Master Stars piece is. Super Master Stars piece was Bandai's premium line of figures within Ichiban Kuji. These figures typically come as a set of 4 with 4 different variations: the brush, the original, the tones, and the 2 dimensions. These figures have been known for their immense size, crazy high detail, and quality. Since these were released as Ichiban Kuji lottery figures with very limited overseas quantities, they've become increasingly hard to find and rare, with prices skyrocketing to the thousands of dollars for their Japanese releases. But now that we've given some background on what Super Master Stars piece is, let's start our review with the box. Super Master Stars piece figures are iconic, but so are their boxes. They typically come as tall, white boxes with graphics of the figures in black and white all around it. All the Japanese release boxes look exactly like this, with the only notable difference being the sticker on the front telling you which figure is inside. The 01 is the brush, the 02 is the original, the 03 is the tones, and the 04 is the 2 dimensions. Now you'll quickly notice that my 2 dimensions box is very different than the other 3, and that's because I got an overseas version. You see, when Super Master Stars piece figures were released overseas, Bandai elected to change the art style of the box so that way collectors could differentiate what type of figure from what region they were getting it from. But rest assured, the figures are no different within the box. The box is the only difference between the regions. The side of the box will show you all of the different types of figures that you can collect within this Ichiban Kuji. The back of the box is pretty much identical to the front, the only difference being there's no sticker. The side of the box shows a close-up of the figure. And of course, the top of the box has the title of the figure and set along with the Toei animation sticker, which is this figure's sticker of authenticity. The overseas box for the 2 dimensions has windows on the front and sides of the box, while the back of the box shows a graphic of Super Saiyan 4 Goku with some Japanese details and such. And of course, the top of the box also features a Toei animation sticker. Taking a look inside of the box, Goku comes in a plastic shell within, which I believe is the safest and most premium way to package a figure. He comes whole with his tail and support, which are all covered by little plastic sheets to keep them safe. I also found his Bandai stamp for further authentication, which is right here on his pants. Alright, now that we've opened up these beautiful figures, let's dive into just what makes them so special. This set is the second set of Super Master Stars piece Super Saiyan 4 Goku figures that we'll be reviewing here on the channel. The first one we reviewed released in 2021, but these were released in 2018 and were sculpted by the prolific sculptor Yamashita Manabu, who also sculpted Super Saiyan Goku and Super Saiyan Vegeta from Super Master Stars piece. Let's start with the brush. Now, every single sculpt is exactly the same. The only difference is the paint. The brush uses more realistic paint and shading styles for its sculpt. Goku's fur is brightly colored, but mixed with different pinks, reds, and whites. His chest has very dramatic shading, showing all of the different muscles bursting out. His pants have some sick shading too, showing the different yellows and oranges, giving it a lot of depth. I think the paint on this figure is one of the best I've ever seen, maybe the best I've ever seen on a Super Saiyan 4 GT figure. I'm also a huge fan of this sculpt. Goku is depicted as powering up and screaming, which is very fitting for this form. His hair is huge, with different textures and line work to make it look like real hair. His fur is heavily textured, and I think it looks dramatically better than the style of the SMSP 2021's fur texturing. This one looks more realistic, while the 2021's looks a little spastic and maybe unintentional in a way. It's not bad, I just think this one looks way better. Goku's pants have realistic folds and textures, while his huge tail curls around his legs. If I had to complain about anything, it would be the solid colored support that's on his foot. I prefer it when Bandai uses the clear supports, as they're more subtle and clean. It's a nitpick though, as the rest of this figure is fantastic. Moving on, we have the original. The original has no shading and instead elects to have more saturated colors to be as close to the anime as possible. Now, some collectors do prefer their figures to have shading, but I will say that the quality of the sculpts on SMSP make it so it's not really that noticeable, and they still stand out on their own as the original with no shading. I think the area this figure really pops in is its hair. Compared to the brush, his hair is jet black without any of the realistic shading or highlights. I find that this looks fantastic for Super Saiyan 4's black hair, since I'm a fan of a big, deep black color on a figure that has black hair. I will say though that this one definitely feels a little more plain than I expected. I feel as though the brush has brighter color for his fur, which I would have expected for the original. But I will mention that if you want a figure that emulates the Dragon Ball GT anime the most, then this one should be your pick. I don't think this figure is bad, not at all. I just probably think he's my least favorite in the set just because he's nothing remarkable in the context of the entire set. Next, we have the tones. I have to say that these Super Master Stars Piece figures are the most slept on in every single set. These figures are made for those who truly want to appreciate the sculptor's original work. It's totally for purists in this hobby. You can see the bare bones of the figure with no paint. They come in a black, gray, and white color palette. It's the original vision of the figure, and it even emulates the graphics for the box. I did notice that my tones did have a bit of a QC issue with a slight red smear near his belt, which does break the immersion a little bit, but luckily it was pretty minimal, so it's not a deal breaker for my collection. Finally, likely the most popular version of Super Master Stars Piece figures is the 2 Dimensions. These figures come with heavy shading and painting to try and emulate the shading of a manga illustration. This Goku has many highlights around it, from the grays mixed into his hair, the different shades of reds and pinks all along his fur, the dramatic shading on his skin, and even some blacks and yellows mixed into his pants. These are incredibly unique and creative figures, so it's easy to see why so many people love them. Personally, I'm not the biggest fan of 2 Dimensions figures. I feel like they draw away from the quality of the sculpt and sometimes can look a little haphazard and sloppy in their application. I think they're great for Instagram pics, but in person and on video, I think they leave a little bit more to be desired. I'd prefer my figures to have more realistic paint and shading, as I think that actually emulates an actual manga illustration more so than a Manga Dimensions figure. For scaling purposes, these figures can match up with a few different types of figures. Each figure is about 12.5 inches tall, which is huge for a Bandai figure. They scale perfectly with other SMSP figures like the 2021 SSJ4 Goku. They also scale really well with Grandista figures, so if you want to pair this one with the original Goku figures, then I can gladly say that he looks amazing next to them. What I will mention is he does not scale with modern Master Lee's or Ichiban Kuji figures though. I love my Greatest Saiyan Goku, but this monster towers above him. Now, if you're interested in buying any of these figures, I'll share where I bought them and how much I paid for each one. I got all 4 of these on Zen Market, which is an online proxy service that allows you to buy from Japanese sellers and websites. If you want to learn how to use Zen Market, I did make a how-to video right here that you can check out after this review. I got an open box pristine brush Goku for $164, a brand new original Goku for $135. Sorry that I don't have a picture of the actual listing, it disappeared after I bought it, I don't know. $105 for a brand new Tones Goku, and $372 for an overseas brand new 2 Dimensions Goku. Now, clearly, these are pricey figures, and as time goes on, those prices keep going up, and they become increasingly hard to find. So I don't want to create any type of FOMO or anything. However, if you are planning on collecting SMSP figures, I'd probably recommend doing that sooner rather than later. You can also find these figures on websites like eBay, Buy, which is another Japanese proxy service with a ton of coupons for buyers, and Mercari. My recommendation would be to go for the overseas versions of any SMSP figure, as they're usually a lot cheaper than the Japanese Kuji versions online. Now, they're not going to be cheap, but they will usually be more affordable than the Kuji version. And again, as a reminder, the boxes are the only difference. The figures within them are exactly the same. And who knows, you might get lucky and find a really good deal on one of these figures when you're out hunting for them. Now, is this the best Super Saiyan 4 Goku figure? Honestly, I think so. I loved my Greatest Saiyan Super Saiyan 4 Master Release figure for so long, but I just can't deny the quality, the size, the detail, the paint, everything about these figures is incredible. And if I had to order these from my favorite to my least favorite in the set, it would have to be the brush, the tones, the 2 dimensions, and the original. You can't go wrong with any of them, but if you could only get one, it would definitely have to be the brush. It has the best details, the best painting style, and is just the greatest Super Saiyan 4 Goku figure. But those are my thoughts, guys. Please let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. If you made it this far in the video and you enjoyed it, then please leave a like and of course, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. We do more and more reviews like these here on the channel. So which Super Master Stars piece figure do you want to see me review next? Also, if you want to join our growing community of collectors and enthusiasts that are just like you, there is a link to our Discord server in the description below. There's no charge. You can just jump right in and join the community. But if you do want to go even further beyond and support the channel, consider becoming a YouTube member, and that way you'll get featured here in the credits, and of course your generosity is greatly appreciated. But I think that's all I got for you guys today, so until the next video, I will see you all later.